Ever wonder how today's fashion inspirations look so appealing to the eye, or how some clothing details are applied to our everyday attire? Well, you've come to the right place. Hey everyone, Sayansh here, sharing my finds on the 1600s fashion and its balance in elegance and extravagance. As we dwell deeper into detail, let's start off with a quote from one of the most memorable figures from the timeline, William Shakespeare. The quote states, "The soul of this man is his clothes." Being pretty concise and condensed, the quote entails that a person's style of clothing is their personality and their life. In the 1600s, this would be very true due to the class system and certain laws that will be covered later in the video. Moving on, let's elaborate on the historical figures known for the fashion and the role in the 1600s society. Firstly, we have Queen Elizabeth I, who reigned over England from 17 November 1558 to 24 March 1603. If you search her up, she would be the face of 1600s fashion as she wore very extravagant and flamboyant clothing, reflecting her personality of being a royal member and the most powerful person in England. Next, we have Charles I of England, who reigned over England and Ireland from 27th March 1625 to 30th January 1649, ending his rule after getting beheaded for treason. He is quickly noticeable from his sleek stature, like his doublet, pants, and heeled boots. He is also known for his big draped collars and ruffs. And then we have William Shakespeare himself, greatly known for being the most influential writer, along with being an actor and an entertainer. He was an upper class individual and had to wear upper class clothing. One can distinguish him from his noir styles apparel and occasionally wearing either a collar, ruff, or a tisserand. Moving on to the designers. As the fashion sense was 400 years ago, not much is known about the designers. The sumptuary law was the only defining term that bordered the upper class and the lower class. As fashion was a very strict law, designers weren't getting much credibility for their work, thus being no records of citation. Now we have the silhouettes. On the left, we have the doublet for the male and virago sleeves for both male and female. For the male, we have stockings and heel boots from the knee below, and we have the collar ruffs for both males and females. For people in the upper class who like to show their power and status. On the right, we have the bodice, the petticoat, and the round gown for the females. Let's dive specifically into the trends and common fashion choices in the 1600s. Here we have the petticoat. It's a lightweight skirt usually worn underneath a gown, like an undergarment. Petticoats are accompanied by bodices or laces, which are undergarments as well. Next, we have the bodice itself. It's worn under a corset. It's a very tight fit which braces the waist to be skinnier, making the bust look larger. Nowadays, it's worn as a casual top that can be fitting or slightly loose. The round gown are outer layers and not connected to the bodice or corset, making an illusion that the hips are bigger. The top part of the gown has a frame to keep its shape. This also distinguishes people in the class system. The bigger the gown, the higher the status. In today's times, this would be unconventional, and these tactics are only used in couture or wedding dresses. Following are the virago sleeves, matching the round gown. Puffy sleeves that also determine the status in class. Nowadays, we can find virago sleeves in crop tops, sundresses, nightdresses, shirts, and much more at the average person's expense. Next are the most prominent and infamous collars or ruffs. Made of linen and stitched in 8 folds, this resembles an animal flaring its powerful presence. Like the other trends previously, like a peacock, these are for people that need to show their power and stature in society. Nowadays, ruffs will occasionally be used in couture type clothing and will be very inconvenient. Today's society has evolved to sleek collars for professional uses. The doublet is an outer layer for men and very rarely for women. It has beautiful and intricate floral embroidery and trimmings, accompanied by virago sleeves or cut sleeves. The shape uses and resembles the classic tuxedo. Tuxedos normally do not have designs like a doublet, as they're usually plain colors or shades like black, blue, navy, or maroon. Overlaying stockings keep the legs warm and provide padding to the shin. Men usually do not wear stockings anymore, only during the winter times or playing sports like soccer and rugby, but socks nowadays are for covering half the shin. Heel boots provide height and give the legs a nicer look. With heels, calves and glutes are contracted, giving the legs a muscular look. Heels also show military prowess and high social stature. Colors and textures. The rarest of colors in the color palette back then would be the variations of red. Scarlet is very rare, produced from an insect called kermes. The color is imported all the way from the Mediterranean areas like Turkey or the Byzantine area. This was also used for upper classes, including sheep, gold, and popinjay green colors. The lower green wore brown, mulberry, dull greens, and tawny colors that would be found within the area. Textures were very intricate, including needle lace, verticilla, floral embroidery, and trimmings, like previously stated. And thank you for listening to me speaking about the 1600s. I hope you learned something, and catch you guys later.